Sushi Live Noding. Today I just want to do something really simple, basically utilizing a few nodes inside SphereChalk to make some kind of a procedural pipe. Okay, so let's get started with SphereChalk nodes. If you want something that looks like pipe, you search for pipe, and this pipe will give you a result that resembles a pipe. And there's actually a node there called Hilbert, and Hilbert give you kind of like pattern that looks like a pipe as well. So I think we can definitely use something like this. If you want something that looks kind of cool, but at some point I want to actually, instead of using Hilbert, I want to have like a better way to make a pipe for kind of like a something that's already looks like form, maybe start with a letter or something and then turn it into pipe. But Hilbert is good, and Hilbert 3D also is a good place to start. Yep, bless you. And with Hilbert 3D, as you can see, you don't get the edges right away somehow in this version of SphereChalk. So you probably want to use UV connection. But this Hilbert 3D should work with Polyline Viewer. So let me try. Give it a different name. So this is what you get if you use Hilbert on Polyline Viewer. Let's move this to the side. Save this as SV pipe. And this Hilbert goes inside UV connections. Turn on edges. There you go. That's actually how Hilbert 3D should look like if you plug in the vertices and edges. Probably there's something, maybe there's a mistake there. Okay, so that's pretty good start. So you can have 2D or 3D. But what is this pipe for? Let's see. So pipe, if you are actually using something like a circle, plug into pipe. Let's create another B mesh. Let's call it cat. Plug this in. So if you have a circle, it creates a twisty result. I'm actually pretty surprised that it's actually doing that. You can use round. You can close and open the pipe, which is also can be useful for our pipe. And also you have control over the size. And the size itself is something that you can randomize. So let's try, instead of using circle, use our Hilbert 2D, for example, pipe. So let's do this. Vertices, plug to the edges, and another B mesh, call it dough. Vertices, polygon. Alright, so that's interesting. Let me hide some of this. Delete. So from Hilbert, which you can control. Okay, the size is probably broken if you do that. Oh, okay. Oh, that's for Hilbert 3D, sorry. Size. So you have control over the size. So this is something that should actually resemble a pipe. So close and open. All right. Cup fill, closing the start and the end. Okay, that's more like a pipe, although we are missing the corner. So that's kind of too bad. But let me try. Maybe we need some kind of ways to resample the points. So for that, we need to use older Blender. Let me quickly open up Blender 2.79 because we have the resample nodes, remember? So in here, node editor, spreadshow, just create a GP. This is the GP resample node. I'm gonna delete this and that. File, save as. So resample macro. I'm gonna save it. Oh, we get a lot of noise from the background. Sorry. File, append. So resample macro, get the node 3, and this should work for us. So just copy and paste it here for our Hilbert Pipe, and we're gonna put these nodes inside. So from our Hilbert, we want to resample it, so we just plug the vertices and edges here, and vertices goes in there, and as a result, UV connections can go inside the pipe. Now we have something that's a little bit better, because what happened underneath with this resampling is like we have more dots. Let me Control J and then group it. Let me quickly display it to you. Oops. So with Hilbert, by default, if we use a box and BMS viewer, example, plug in the box and plug in the vertices of Hilbert, you only get 1 point for every corner. But after the resample of the points, you're gonna get a lot more boxes. This is actually really useful. That's why the pipe, our pipe, becoming it has more resolution, basically. So I'm just gonna delete all, and then it should refresh itself. I probably made too many boxes, but okay. File, save as, new blend. Okay, so that's our first pipe. It's a 2D pipe. It's very simple, and then we can increase the resolution more because currently the corner is not very good. Probably if we actually use bevel, the result is gonna be also better. So we don't need too many resolutions for every corner. If we increase too high, so that's probably not gonna be too good either. So the plan is maybe for me to use a bevel. Spreadshow have ways to create bevel as well, so something to keep in mind. Maybe that's actually better. For now, I'm gonna show you that you can, with the pipe here, with the size, you can plug in random value, random number, float, plug this into the, oh, it's not gonna work because it needs a vector in. So there you go, that's giving you a random value. And Spreadshow nodes is smart enough to repeat the random number across this pipe. So we can now adjust the shape, the smaller size pipe and the highest pipe. I thought this is kind of cool. It resembles actually one of the monster in the Shadow of the Colossus for the leg, for example, or the arm. You can use this method to create some kind of robotic arm. Randomize the seed. I mean, the pipe itself is a bit lumpy, but it's not too bad. Definitely can be improved. Let's go back, just using studio and shadow cavity, turn off cavity. Okay, and this Hilbert can be replaced with any point basically. You can use the Hilbert 3D. So if I just use a control shift and what is the there's a way to make a cut. Well, the shortcut probably have changed. It used to be a control and then drag option. Control option. No, we don't have that anymore. So Hilbert 3D goes in there with the edges, and the vertices goes in there. We don't get anything because we need UV connection. So vertices and edges. I think this edges is a bit broken, or we need to do something about it. So that's a Hilbert 3D. So you're gonna get definitely more interesting and more complex result. Oh, I just dragged the size, right? I think it's probably there was a bug. Just type it in 4. 4 is already pretty complex. Go back to 2 and then resize to 5. Oh, by the way, the resample actually look at the points in the unit space, so it might be a little bit heavy. Yeah, probably size of 2. Turn off shadow. Try increasing the size to 10 until we can see proper Hilbert. Seems like there's like a repeat. One, two, three, and then delete. Let me quickly check whether this is still correct. So turn this off. Need to cut this. Yes, use beam as viewer, vertices and edges from here. Delete everything and let's check. Okay, this Hilbert seems incorrect. Let me check my other blend. I think I have it somewhere. So Hilbert, somewhere from desktop, let's find the pipe. So maybe pipe, that's the one I had before. Simply gonna, okay, Blender crashes. Good. Let's reopen Blender 2.80. I'm still using 2.81 alpha, so it's probably buggy. Yep. this one works. So Hilbert 3D, level 3 or level, any level, 2, 3, 4. Let's try level 2, and I plug this into UV connection, slice is on, adjust U, and we have the same setup like before, and this is the output. I wonder why the other one doesn't work. Okay, should work like this. The setup is the same though, so I really wonder why it didn't work. So the mesh, I have the edges coming from UV connections all the way to this guy. Which I can actually unplug. File, save as. So this is probably the blend that I'm gonna give to you. Here I actually have vector noise that's kind of driving the pipe size. So we have something that's a little bit more random. You don't need to actually have this. So you can see with less value, you have pipe that's with design that's completely different. I think this is actually pretty alright. There is another way where we can randomize this, where we actually use this close and cup fill to add details to the pipe. What I mean is that instead of using the size here, so we have all this line, we're gonna have just a normal pipe without any details, and then on top of this you want to use the same node with different output. I'll show it to you. So this is alpha and G, okay, vertices, polygon, vertices and edges, cup, try square. You can see there's that part there that looks like just a normal plane. You can actually use solidify on top of that to add a thickness, just a little bit of thickness. So that can be the details. Yeah, ideally we actually control this part here. Might be over complicating things here. Let's go back, get the original before the resampling. Oh yeah, I think I messed it up, but you probably get the idea. If you can resample this part and then you solidify it, that can be the detail. So you randomize the details along the pipe itself. This is the broken one. Save it. We need a way to resample. I mean, this node is very, very useful. It needs to be turned into a nodes, this macro. So this vertices needs to go in there, and this goes in there. Okay, that's what I mean. So we have the multiplier for the resample, and then we have the pipe itself, and then the details, the detailing part of the pipe that we should be able to control using solidify. Well, actually, yeah, that's interesting. Totally didn't expect that result. Maybe that's what I was talking about. So 0.02, and then you control the thickness. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. This is actually good. So random number for this part, and then also another random number for the other part. It's gonna be a float, 0 point small, make it really small. And then this part also small value. So the creator of these nodes must have planned this at some point. So that's it has potential to be a better pipe, but with a pipe normally you draw a pipe like that, and then whenever it makes a corner, you're gonna get that kind of detail because you want to connect this part with the other part. So potentially with some kind of magic, this kind of pipe, say you want to make like a letter based on pipe, you can just make a cut where whenever there's a corner, just make a cut and then replace that or add details as needed. So that's actually my plan. Could be pretty interesting to try to do that. But yeah. Alright, I think the neighbor's too noisy, so I'll just gonna stop over here. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.